I'd just like to invite your attention to the book of Matthew. That's Matthew chapter 11. And we're going to be reading verses 28 to 30. I just want to share just a thought with you this morning, just a word of encouragement to you this morning. That's Matthew chapter 11, reading verses 28 through to 30. Let us read together, please. Come to me, all who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. I want to talk to you this morning about the divine invitation. And the primary focus is, come to me. In a time of so much turmoil, so much stress, you know, you talk to people today at work who are working and they'll say there's so much stress. What they're doing, they're cutting back on staff and then they're just adding more. And in all sectors of society, people seem to be traveling at 100 miles an hour in their minds. And even when people are at home, they find it very, very hard to switch off. But here we have an invitation this morning. Jesus said, come to me. And as I've said, this is a divine invitation. And when I look up the word come, it means to approach someone, to move towards someone, to a particular person, and to make yourself available unto them. And this is what Jesus is saying, come to me. Come to me. What's the reason for this invitation? The first thing, God recognizes your need. God sees you in your situation. And right now, if I were to ask individuals, what is your need? Is there something that bothering you? Or is there something of concern that you have? Is there a pressing need that you have? Is there a circumstance within your situation this morning that you really would like to have addressed? I guarantee you that most of us, if not all, would say yes. Yes, I have a need. Yes, I have a concern. Yes, there's something I would like to be done. God is saying this morning, come to me. So the reason for that, because he knows your need. He knows your circumstance. He knows your situation. He knows the predicament that you might be facing. But even more importantly, he wants to help. Jesus is saying, I want to help you. And as I was saying to someone early this week, that there are some things that God has given to us that he's not going to take away. We have an intellect. When he says that we were born in the image of God, he's saying we have an intellect. We can rationalize, we can think, etc. We have an emotion. We're a people of feeling. And we have a will. That will, God will not take away. The moment that we lose our will, we are dehumanized. And God respects the will. And that's the reason why the angels could sin. That's the reason why people today can say, I do not want to serve Jesus, because God has given the will. And it is on that same will the invitation is made this morning. Come to me. God expects us to exercise our will. He expects us to make that decision of ourselves and to come to him. Sometimes we go to different sources for our needs. And I'm not saying that we should not seek advice or guidance. I'm not saying that. But I believe as Christians, the first and foremost thing we need to do is to go to Jesus. And as Roxanne said this morning in her testimony, Something might seem insignificant, but they are important. Don't just go to God about your spiritual need. Don't just go to God about the massive things. The seemingly insignificant things, go to God. God is saying, come to me. A universal call. What I like about him is the fact that God has experience in all walks of life. God knows it. He understands it. He understands your situation. The problem that you're going through, the stress that you face in life, God understands. The thing that you find difficult, the problems that seem unsurmountable, how can I get over this? God is saying this morning, come to me. An invitation that is given to you, my friend, in love. An invitation in compassion. An invitation with feelings and emotion. God is saying, come to me. It could be job security. We live in a society where jobs are not secure anymore. It could be a job security. God is saying, come to me. It might be a physical illness that you're struggling with. God is saying, come to me. It might be an emotional problem that you have. It might be a stress that you have. Sleepless night. God is saying, come to me. It might be a financial need that you face. How am I going to pay this bill? How am I going to address this situation? Where am I going to get the next penny from to address this situation? God is saying, come to me. It's a decision that you have to make that might have dramatic change to your life. God is saying, before you make that decision, come to me. Come to me. An invitation that God is making. Whatever the situation may be, a relationship situation, health issue, protection, provision, you name them, the invitation is still there. Come to me. Are you frustrated this morning? God is saying, come to me. Bring your frustration to me. I understand. I have been there. I know what it means to be frustrated. Come to me with your frustration. Do you feel defeated this morning? Jesus is saying, come to me in your state of defeat. Come to me. Bring your defeat to me. You're failing a situation. God is saying, come to me this morning. Do you feel a failure? I've tried this so many times. I tried so many times. I want to do the good thing, but the wrong thing comes up. God is saying, come to me. You might feel, I've messed up. My life is a mess. My situation is a mess. God is saying, come to me this morning. What's the condition of this invitation? A knowledge of who we are. We need to acknowledge who we are, where we are, our situation. Just acknowledge it. Yes, I need help. You know, there are some people who don't believe they need help. I can't. How can I talk about my need? How can I bring my need to somebody? I need to keep it to myself. God is saying this morning, no, forget that. Forget that. You cannot sort it out. Bring it to me. I love the thing about God. He's all sufficient. He's a God of wisdom. He's a specialist in every area. In finance, he's a specialist. In geography, he's a specialist. In science, he's a specialist. In history, he's a specialist. In building, he's a specialist. God is a specialist in all situations. And so he's saying, come to me. I love you. I am concerned about you. I care about you. When you weep, I weep. When you're hurt, I am hurt. When you're frustrated, I am frustrated. When you cannot sleep, I am concerned. God is saying this morning, come to me. Will you accept the invitation that God has given to you this morning? Will you accept that invitation and go to Jesus? Lord, here I am. Lord, here's the situation. Here's the circumstance. I want you to deal with it for me, Lord. Acknowledge who we are. As I've said, an invitation to everyone. A specialist in all fields. A specialist in all circumstances. God understands. A while ago, Muriel said that she's having a barbecue on Saturday. And all are invited. Invitation. Now, with an invitation, there is an expectation. I remember a few years ago, I think my brother was here. And so we decided to go out for a meal. And we decided to, let's go to a Caribbean place somewhere in town. And they said, okay, you just pay one money and then you can eat as much as you want. And we went there with an expectation. But when I got there, the food was a small amount. There was limitation. We could not eat as much. My expectation was destroyed. I had an expectation, but that expectation was destroyed. God, we need to go to Christ with an expectation. He's saying, come to me. So there has to be an expectation when we go to Jesus. Expect something from him. Exercise your faith and believe that God has something for you. Come to me. As Muriel said this morning, I'm having a barbecue. With an invitation, there should not only be expectation, but there should be preparation. She now has to go and prepare on Saturday to meet your expectation. And Jesus has already made the preparation. So when he says, come to me, he has already prepared for that situation in your life. He has already made the provision for your life. He has it in his hand. He has it waiting for you. All you need to do is to come to him, accept from him, and experience it. Come to me. An invitation that carries expectation. An invitation that carries preparation. Come to me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden. The thing I like about Jesus is not some. He's not partial. You know, God is not going to say, okay, well, I'm going to deal with you, Tony. I'm going to deal with your need, but Angela, I'm sorry, I can't help you. Go and find somebody else. I'm gonna partially help you, Muriel, but I'm not sure, Vivian. I'm just not sure about that need that you have. You have to keep that need aside because I can't deal with you now. I do not have the resource. I do not have the expertise to deal with that. God is saying, my friend, come to me, everyone. His resource is boundless. His storehouse is filled to the brim. What I like about this invitation is that you don't have to pay. It's an invitation that is free, my friend. There's some things that you have to pay for. But when you go to Jesus and the resources that he's going to give to us, we do not have to pay. I don't think you're going to pay when you go to the barbecue on Saturday. But the invitation is free. The beautiful thing is, all we need to do is to exercise our will and go to Jesus. Lord, here I am. Help me. In Matthew chapter 7, you don't have to turn to that. Reading verse 9 to 11, Jesus was speaking and he said, and I paraphrase, if a child go to his dad and say, Dad, give me something, give me some bread, the dad is not going to give him a stone. Or if Angela were to go to Jackie and say, Jackie, I need some petrol for my car. I just don't have any money today to petrol. Jackie's not going to go to the pipe and to get some water and say, here you are, Angela. Pour water in your petrol tank. She is going to give to her what she needs. And God is saying, if you come to me with a need, I am not so evil in my words here that I'm going to give you something that you do not want. I am going to give to you the thing that matters most to you. I am going to meet that need to your expectation and far beyond. God knows what you need. And God is not stingy. You know, there's some people, they're very stingy. There's some people, they will only give you what they don't want. But as long as they want it, they're not going to give you. There's some people who can see the need that you have, and they can meet that need, but they're so stingy that they will not help. God is not like that. God is not a stingy man. God is someone who loves you, who has resources that is boundless, who wants to give to you. But before that gift can be received, you have to come. Come to me, Jesus is saying. Look at the focus of the invitation in second clause of verse 28 in chapter 11. All you that labor. What does it mean? Labor. I look up the word and it means, it denotes hard work. And it's not only physical labor, you know. Sometimes in your mind, you know, you are sorting things out mentally. You're working mentally. Your mind is working overtime. And as I said earlier on, sometimes you cannot sleep because your mind is working overtime. And you young men that are studying, you know what it means to go to the library and to study and to prepare that assignment and to ensure that you meet those deadlines. Hard work to hand it, to meet that particular deadline and to ensure that if they said 12 o'clock, that assignment needs to be in, that you have to get it there by 12 o'clock. Hard work. You have to put in energy. Sometimes you want to sleep. But you said, look, I still have this. I have not addressed that area as yet. I only have one day or a few hours to get that assignment in. I cannot afford to sleep. God is saying, come to me. Ask him for wisdom. Lord, give me a breakthrough in understanding. Guide me to the right resources to do this assignment. Give me some understanding that I can finish my assignment. God is saying, come to me. He is the lecturer. He is the lecturer, my friend. He has the answer. All you that labor and are heavy laden. Now there's a difference between labor and are heavy laden. Heavy laden is emotional tiredness, mental pressure. Not the physical work, but mental pressure as a result of the work, as a result of the stress, as a result of the tiredness. At school, one of my colleagues is off stress. They cut 12 people from his department. 17, cut 12, only 5 to go, and 2 is on maternity leave. He's in stress. And he's off 3 weeks now. Stress, cannot cope. Mental stress, my friend. Mental and emotional tiredness. God is saying, come to me. Are you in that state? He's a psychologist. He's a healer. He's an advisor. God is saying, whatever the situation is this morning, come to me and I will give you rest. That is the offer. What's the offer that God is giving when you come to me? Rest. Spiritual rest, my friend. Spiritual rest for your soul. Physical rest for the body. Mental rest. When you give things to Jesus, you can say, you know what? I committed to God. And I think Jackie alluded to that this morning. I committed to God. I'm not going to worry about it. And I believe that the time has come for Christians to be saying, I am not going to worry. I am not going to kill myself about this. As I've been saying to somebody this week, when you worry, all you do, you're destroying yourself. You're destroying yourself mentally. You're destroying yourself emotionally. And I can guarantee you that problem won't go away. By worrying about it, it's not going to go away. All it does, hurt you, damage you. But when we bring it to Jesus, we can say, Lord, here it is. Lord, it is your problem. It is your issue. You are the one to deal with it, God. I cannot deal with it. Bring it to the altar, put it down, and leave it. You can have rest for your soul. I can tell you, if you're worrying about anything, bring it to Jesus. Things will sort itself out. You might believe it's not going to sort itself. I guarantee you, things will sort itself out. Don't stress about it. My philosophy is this: whatever I can do to help a situation, I'll do it. But whatever I can't do, leave it. Anything you can't change, don't worry about it. Commit it to God. Jesus is saying, I will give you rest. And I can tell you, we are in a society of stress. The amount of work those of you who are working knows. Your employer, they're just putting on the pressure. They're just piling on the pressure. The paperwork, the this and the that, you name it. They're piling it on. And people's lives are filled with stress. But God is saying this morning, take my yoke. Take my yoke upon you. Now a yoke is, is what something that holds an animal, two animals when they're plowing, and the yoke, they put it over their neck and for them to work together, plow together. What God is saying here, when you take my yoke upon you, I am walking alongside with you. I am walking alongside with you in that problem. I face that problem with you, and I am there walking with you in that problem, in that situation. You will find rest for your soul. I'm going to stop this morning. I really want to encourage you to try it. Try Jesus. Try Jesus this morning. Trust him. He will guide you through.